How to install a Kawasaki ZX-14 convertible clutch, a slider and a hand slider all in one package. Premium stainless steel hardware, premium titanium and matte black finish. Complete kit includes billet inner hub, clutch basket, tuning kit and head assembly, as well as our innovative tuning chart. Now we are ready to install. Install clutch basket and roller bearing assembly. Install the 4-piece thrust bearing assembly. Install the billet inner hub. You must use the input shaft nut supplied with your kit. Part number 92015-1555 from Kawasaki Motor Corporation. Next, tighten the input shaft nut to secure the inner hub. Now, install the pusher shaft and pusher shaft bearing assembly. Okay, for hand slider mode you will need 9 3mm fibers and 8 2mm steel plates. For hand slider mode, acceptable stack height is 1.700 to 1.730 inches. Now, we can install the clutch pack. Always start with a fiber and end with a fiber. Here is how you measure the air gap. Place the bottom of the caliper on the face of the clutch basket, then slide the rod down to the pad on the first fiber plate. The air gap is the distance the fiber sits below the face of the clutch basket. Okay, now let's set up the clutch to use in hand slider mode. As pictured, the ZX-14 head assembly can be used on 2012 and newer models. This adapter will allow you to use this same head assembly on 2006 to 2011 ZX-14 models. When inserted into the center of the pressure plate. Okay, start by separating the head and pressure plate assembly. And grab your tuning kit. And your tuning chart. Here is how to select the proper spring. The spring tuning chart has individual values for each spring. Depending on which spring location it is used, every spring in the tuning kit will fit in the following pockets: static, delay, slider stall engagement. So depending on the placement of the spring, the tuning chart allows you to correctly identify which spring you need to choose, and makes it easier to make precise tuning changes. We're going to choose the 14-pound spring for the static pockets. We're going to run 3 14-pound springs in the static spring pockets. This will provide the initial clutch force when you release the clutch lever. Due to the technologically advanced design of engine-driven lockups over traditional transmission-driven lockups of the past, we no longer need high static spring rates, as the lockup arms apply force according to engine RPM and provide the majority of the clamping force. Use a 5/16 Allen T handle to remove the delay spring caps from the top of the head assembly. Moving right along, let's select a delay spring for the multi-stage tuning for your clutch. The delay springs allow you to tune the lockup arms so they do not apply pressure all at the same time. This allows you to apply pressure in the RPM ranges where you need it and vice versa. Different power levels will require minor changes in your tune-up, as higher levels require more clamping force to prevent the clutch from slipping excessively. You can set up 2 or 3 stage configuration for your tuning. For this demonstration we are going to illustrate a 2-stage tune-up. The first stage is always the one that has the most weight on the lockup arms and the lightest delay spring rate. The second stage is always the one that has the least weight on the lockup arms and the heaviest delay spring rate. Now we're going to choose the 17-pound spring for the first stage delay spring. Place the first stage delay springs in 3 alternating pockets as shown. We're going to choose the 24-pound spring for the second stage delay spring. Place the second stage delay springs in the remaining pockets. Now you can replace the delay spring caps. The delay spring caps are a fine thread. Tighten cap by hand, and when the cap stops turning, stop. It is possible to over-tighten the cap. If this happens, it will damage the threads in the head assembly. Now, place the outer head assembly over the pressure plate. Make sure to align the head as shown. Using the head assembly hardware. Insert the head assembly hardware in the slider stud pockets. Tighten until assembly is fully compressed. Now, you can install the head assembly onto the clutch basket, using the 4mm 7-pitch fasteners included in your tuning kit. make sure to use a 3mm hex Allen wrench. Also, don't forget to remove the hat assembly hardware after hat install. You won't get very far if you forget to remove them. Okay, we're almost finished. Just a few more things. The convertible clutch will convert from a hand slider to a full slider, all in the same package, eliminating the need to buy two separate clutches. In addition to having full slider capability, the convertible clutch will also allow you to have multi-stage tuning capability in full slider mode. But, don't tell anyone. That will be our little secret. Here is how to convert to full slider mode. Replace one 3mm fiber with a 3.7mm fiber to achieve desired air gap. How to measure air gap. Place the bottom of the caliper on the face of the clutch basket, lower the rod to touch the first fiber. The air gap is the distance the fiber sits below the face of the clutch basket. In full slider mode it is common to see air gaps between 0.035 and 0.05 inches. Separate the hat and pressure plate assembly. Remove the static springs from the pressure plate. Next, install the slider studs in the static spring pockets. Thread the short end of the stud into the pocket until it bottoms on the pocket floor. Now, you can install the jam nuts on the slider studs protruding from the bottom of the pressure plate. Tighten them to secure the stud in place. Reassemble the hat and pressure plate. How to select the slider stall spring. The slider stall spring you choose will determine the RPM at which the clutch starts to engage. As you can see, the tuning chart offers a precise selection of engagement RPM choices, so you can quickly and accurately make your selection. We're going to choose the 4,200 revolutions per minute slider stall spring. Install the stall springs over the slider studs on top of the hat. Then install the adjuster nuts to desired position. Placing the adjuster nut in a 13mm short socket makes it easy to install the adjuster nut onto the threaded stud. Once adjuster nuts are set, install the jam nuts to secure. The new convertible clutch can also be tuned as a multi-stage in full slider mode, just like hand slider mode. For the first stage we are going to use 3 washers and a long bolt on 3 lockup arms on the outer hole of the lockup arms. The first stage is always the one that has the most weight on the lockup arms and the lightest delay spring rate. For the second stage we are going to use 2 washers and a short bolt on 3 lockup arms on outer hole of lockup arms. The second stage is always the one that has the least weight on the lockup arms and the heaviest delay spring rate. Now, you are ready to install the hat assembly onto the clutch basket. That's it. You have just completed the installation of the ZX-14 convertible clutch. Congratulations! Contact us today and let us know what we can assist you with today. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it for you, please hit the like and subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we post new video content.
5:30, shots fired. Can we get an EMS code 3, Washburn 51st Street? We got one down.